All right, welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus Show. I'm Onebar. We got our special guest, Justin from the Purple Persuasion. We're talking latest Vikings news and nuggets, and there's a handful of them. It's pretty damn slow right now, but we got a few nuggets. Justin, how was your world?
It's pretty good. We're about actually a week from today. There's opening up training camp for the first practice, so Vikings football is very much on the horizon right now, and it's finally good to get some concrete things and not hypothetical and everybody arguing about different certain things going on in the world and stuff. So Vikings football is back. Rookies tomorrow, veterans on Tuesday. They'll be doing a lot of work, meetings, and they got their physicals and stuff they got to go through and everything and whatnot. So it's we're here. We're close. Let's do it.
Hell yeah, rookies reporting tomorrow.
Yep.
One rookie that will be there and sign, JJ freaking McCarthy. Done deal.
Done deal, yeah. It's done deal. A lot of drama. I never was worried about it. We post a lot about it because it is news. So, there was reports that he was going to hold out. I do believe he was going to hold out from one of the sources that we reached out to. He did get his signing bonus up front, did confirm that. So he got what he wanted. He deserves it. The Vikings don't typically give their signing bonuses up front. I think a select few players like Jefferson or Kirk Cousins, people that are, at the top tiers of their classes. But the Vikings haven't drafted a quarterback this high in the franchise history, so he deserves it. Turner's obviously unsigned still. I think he was waiting to see what McCarthy got, but I'm sure it'll all be worked out by next Saturday. They don't have to have it done tomorrow. I'm sure McCarthy will sign tomorrow when he walks into the building. Turner shows up tomorrow, so I think everything will be, all sealed and done by Saturday next week, and they'll be able to hit the field.
Yeah, there was zero concern. I mean, obviously this dude was going to be here. It wasn't going to get nasty. It never gets nasty anymore now. There's 2 first-rounders not signed, Turner, and then the big man for the Bengals.
Mims, I think is his last name.
Yeah, Mims. So Turner, I mean, I honestly expect Turner to happen like anytime.
I think it's tomorrow. I think he kind of wanted to see what signing bonus. I think he's trying to get his signing bonus up front. It's kind of what I've heard too. Now that McCarthy's got it, he's got a little bit of leverage. Hey, you gave it to McCarthy. I'm a first-round pick. I kind of think he's going to get his money up front as well. Obviously, it's not a prestige like a quarterback, for example. The future face of the franchise. Maybe behind Jefferson, but I think he's going to get it too. And I think the Wilfs are going to have to bend a little bit. And they're going to get their money anyway. So I don't know.
Pay him, pay the man. We got a lot of McCarthy nuggets, but let's take a quick detour. Jordan Addison, obviously just absolutely stupid. Everybody knows that. But the big question is, will he be suspended? Will it be the Vikings suspension? Obviously, the details need to come out. Was it drinking? Was it something else? Whatever it was, I'm sure we'll see that. But what do you want him to do? What do you want the Vikings to do with him?
It's a good question. I think they got to do something. I personally think he's going to get out of the whole charge. If something, it's going to be very, very small. And I think it's going to be so small that the NFL is not going to be able to do anything. And I think with a good lawyer, from what I've gathered, and Minnesota sports fan who I write for, called him up and dug into it like pretty intensively. And they might not have a lot there to really truly charge him for the actual DUI. And there's actually been a little nugget that he wasn't even in the driver's seat possibly, and the keys out of the ignition, which changes a whole different game. Personally, I don't think it's alcohol related. I think it's, he might have been smoking the reefer or something like that. But even then, it's hard to prove if, there's no acts in there and there's no other drugs or something in the vehicle. So I think with a good lawyer, I think he's going to get out of this. But I do believe the Vikings are going to take action. I know Doogie reported that there's a lot of people pissed off within the organization, and rightfully so. He's ripping 140 mile an hour, going to get his dog to the vet or whatever fake story that was. He obviously struggles in the offseason with accountability, and he's got incidences with cars. He likes cars a lot. He likes to go fast. So I don't know what it's going to look like, if it's going to be he's going to lose some pay, or if he's going to miss games or lose reps in training camp. But I think the Vikings are going to come down pretty good on him and, hopefully whip him into shape, because, you get to 3 strikes, you're on the way out at that point. So, and he's got so much potential. He's a good receiver, so he needs to change. But whether the NFL comes down, I think the Vikings will do something for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is a test for the Vikings front office. I mean, they need to flex their muscles a little bit here and be like, dude, we're not going to allow this, and they need to do something. As much as I'd love to see him out on the field, like we're gonna get a good feel for how they're feeling, and they should be pissed off. It's the worst. But yeah, we'll see. We'll wait and see all the details that come out. Let's talk some more JJ McCarthy. Let's
do it.
see. There's a handful. Let's see. Kevin O'Connell, I think it was on K-Fan. He was talking, and he was just basically saying the schedule has a natural transition point. A bye after their week 5 trip to London to play the Jets. And I mean, he's made it very clear the timetable is very open. They don't have anything in. But I was surprised he said that. Like, actually put a game out there.
Yeah, I think that was actually from Seifert's article. He had a real long article on ESPN. Definitely check it out, everybody. It's very thorough from like the whole Vikings operation of trying to get a quarterback, some negotiations with Cousins. There was a lot of little nuggets in there that I thought were really interesting. Still a few more to drop for you guys that are following on Twitter, so stay tuned for that I kind of noted that were interesting. But I thought that was interesting too. It sounds like there's no real timetable, which they shouldn't. I think a lot of these beat writers and media are like, McCarthy's not going to play all year. He's going to be QB3, blah, blah, blah. I think you can't put a timetable on it. If he's ready, he's ready. He's not ready, he's not ready. And I think predetermining before training camp is just bad coaching. It's bad philosophy for any organization. And it sounds like Kevin O'Connell's not doing that. And I thought it was interesting too that there was that natural transition point, which is, I think it's a brutal 4 or 5 game stretch there to start the season off outside of maybe the Giants. I mean, they could easily be 1-4, 1-5 going into the bye. Or I guess our bye week is week 6, which would be bad, but maybe they shock the world and they do better. But if things are, they are 1-4 going into the bye, it's, I think that's the time to transition to McCarthy. But even the 2 games after that with Detroit and you got the Rams on a short week, there's another transition point after that Thursday night football game. But I think, in my opinion, I wouldn't be shocked if McCarthy's actually QB1 to start the season. I think it's would I bet on it? Is it the favored option? No, but I think there's way too many negativity on him being QB3 and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's just you don't spend a top 10 pick on QB3. That'll be bad.
Well, and Doogie was saying as of right now, he would bet that Mullins is QB2 and McCarthy is QB3 heading into week 1.
No.
Which to me, I mean, just go down the scenario that actually happens. I mean, I'm not going to jump to conclusions. If it happens, it's not like I'm thinking everyone's gonna be like, hey, the bust, it should, whatever. But like, to me, that's fairly disastrous. If for some reason if he is QB3, think of the other guys that have come out as first round quarterbacks, not even as high as 10 that have started out like QB3. Like Brady Quinn was QB3 when they came out. I had another one, like Paxton Lynch was QB3. And I'm not comparing the two, but like he can't be QB3 in my mind.
No, you can't.
He's not, even if he like deserves to be. You don't put him at QB3. No,
he'll get eaten alive. And the coach, why is JJ McCarthy QB3? And in my opinion, you don't draft a top 10 quarterback if they're QB3 to start the season. Then he's not good enough, and you shouldn't have wasted the capital to get him at that spot, which I don't think he will. He's for sure going to be either QB1 or 2. Obviously, QB2 maybe more likely going into week 1, and we'll see how Darnold does. But he cannot be QB3.
No, not an option. It would look bad for the coaching staff. It would just like if they come out with this, hey, they got to earn it. They got to earn it. F that, man. He's QB2 minimum.
You got to be exactly. I agree, 100%.
I would be amazed,
same,
shocked and disgusted.
But a lot of top beat writers are saying that, which is, I'm not buying it now. But let's these next few weeks we'll see what happens in the preseason games, and obviously the joint practices with the Browns. That's where forget OTAs, minicamp. They're important, but they don't mean anything. This is where the positions are won right now in these next few weeks.
Yeah, and the other side of it, I think Jordan Love was QB3 when he was a rookie. I think I want to say he was 3rd on the depth chart there for a little while.
He might have been QB, but they knew he was.
Stories there.
I mean, you're not jumping Aaron Rodgers, so like at that point, it's like they know he's not going to play the whole season.
But whoever their backup was not great. Was it Kurt Burke, whatever the hell his name is?
Oh yeah, I know that guy's he's a wild card on Twitter too.
Yeah, he's anyways,
what do you say? Christian Watson is gonna be better than JJ. All right.
All right. So there's a lot as there should be, and now when practices start getting underway here, a lot of thoughts of what McCarthy might be, could be. We're going to see it firsthand. Can't wait. A couple more real quick ones. Vikings continuing to get 0-0 love in the media. Mm-hmm. Vikings come in at 26 from FanDuel's power rankings. ESPN had him like 6.8 wins. I think it was Vegas. I think it's at 6.5.
Yeah.
Just continuing the theme of everybody thinks the Vikings are going to be complete ass.
Yeah, I think the odds might on DraftKings might have drifted up to 7 wins, 7.0 wins, and 7 wins, and obviously they don't want the pushes, so that'll probably flex to a 0.5 at some point before the season. But yeah, it's that 6-7 win mark. Definitely bottom half of the league, even worse than bottom half of the league, which is surprising. There's a lot of unknowns, but if you got some money, extra money laying around, I would hammer that over. I would hammer being more than the 26th, worst team in the NFL. There's too much talent on offense, even with Darnold, if you have to start him, or even if it's McCarthy, he's got some rawness that he's got to work through. There's too much talent. They'll be better. I mean, Hawkinson will be back at some point, in the first 5-6 games. And then you got a defense that I think is going to be much improved. People want to say what they want about Hunter. I think it was time to move on. He splashed, but he would go dormant too long for my liking for his caliber. And I think, DJ Wanham, I didn't really like too much. So I think we upgraded at some of those spots. Corner's obviously a concern now with everything that happened with Kyrie Jackson. And, was kind of a question mark even before that situation, which was unfortunate. But I think they'll pick up some free agents here to, maybe fix some of the needs that they have in camp. But I think the floor is weird too. People know the system. I think the defense is actually going to come out, ahead of the offense because, Darnold and McCarthy, whether week one, they're going to have a learning curve of learning that offense. So I expect the defense to be stronger heading into the, into the season than the offense, but hopefully they level out there. And I know the schedule's rough. It's brutal, but they got some good stretches, in midway and towards the end of the season to do some damage. And are they going to win the Super Bowl? I don't know, probably not, but I think they could be a potential sleeper for a playoff team. And so you got some money laying around, hammer all those overs.
Keep writing us off. Who cares?
I like to be the underdog too. Going in with
underdog will over deliver. It'll be beautiful. I think.
Absolutely.
I don't know. There's a position on the defense that didn't improve this offseason. You can say defensive line might be a wash because they didn't. I mean, they brought in Tillery, but like every other position in my mind,
I think upgraded.
Everyone upgraded. Shaq
the
Griffin's
depth,
an upgrade. Blake Cashman's an upgrade. Edge rushers. It might not be top heavy, but we got way more depth. I think that's an upgrade. So defense to me is, it's obviously offense we got, and then Aaron Jones. Like, I can't see how we're not better than the 7-win team of last year, which 8 of those losses were 1-score games.
Eliminate like half the turnovers or a quarter of the turnovers. We were a playoff team with 4 different quarterbacks, which is wild. It's just, things could go that south again. We can't predict the future, but everything went wrong last year. Literally everything that could possibly go wrong with leading the league in turnovers and, just 4 quarterbacks rotations, and 3 of them were not good. So I think we could only go up, and we won 7 games last year.
Yeah. Let's 7 games. Come on, man. It's gross. All right. We got final. Andrew Van Ginkel, the Gink man, who I'm way too excited about, and he better get his ass healthy. But it sounds like that's happening, and he's saying progressing well, should be ready to go pretty quickly when training camp opens starting next week. My question to you is, if he's not out there a week in, concern level?
I think it would be a little concerning. Alec Lewis said he could be a PUP candidate to start the season, which I think was pretty surprising, but that was a few weeks back. Doogie did have more of a recent report stating that he was he might start the training camp on the PUP list for maybe a week, and then he should be well. I think the Vikings organization wasn't prepared for it to take this long for his Liz Frank injury that he was recovering from. So I think there was a delay in some of the process. So I think, the Vikings organization did acknowledge that, but I would say week 2 of training camp, he should be out there ready to go. And I'm not real worried. I think for sure before the season, he'll be out there. And I think he might take a little bit to get his, up to speed with everything. And, I don't know how much, his physicality and his endurance and all that kind of stuff is where it's at and needs to be, but plenty of time before the season to get up there. So I'm not concerned about it.
He's got to be extra more. This is his moment. When he was with the Dolphins, they kind of dicked him around. He'd start when he's out there, he's making plays, and then he wasn't getting the time he should get. Like, this is his moment.
Yeah,
he should be extra motivated. Like, you know what? I'm getting my ass out there. So I hope that's the case. If this starts lingering on for a week, 2 weeks, or whatever, like I'm gonna start getting a little nervous. We've seen that show before.
Yeah, but more reps for Dallas Turner, so it's kind of a win-win in my opinion. He'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it. And Doogie was pretty optimistic that he'll be out there at some point in training camp. And I would say that sooner rather than later side of training camp.
Yeah, he'll be a big part of this defense. All right, that is the news and nuggets. She's pretty bleak for now, but rookies reporting tomorrow. Training camp happening very, very soon. So stay tuned. Hit up Justin on Twitter and the Purple Persuasion. Absolutely. Give those guys a follow. Get them over 10K. Justin, as always, was fantastic, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me on, and appreciate the time.